Good evening, everyone. Wow, this is a lot different than what we're normally used to, isn't it? It's a virtual event and it's a very exciting event. We are here. Oh, I didn't introduce myself. My name is Kalila Reynolds. I am the Master of Ceremonies for this event this evening. And like I was telling you, it's a very exciting event. We are here to celebrate a momentous occasion as we recognize 23 successful applicants in the Development Bank of Jamaica's IGNITE program. That's their flagship program. Now, all of these innovative small and micro entrepreneurs were able to pitch their businesses and their projects to the DBJ and become beneficiaries and cohorts of the DBJ's flagship project. And through the support received from the program, they've all performed very well. We're all so proud of them. To share a little bit more about the IGNITE program and the role and the work of the DBJ in supporting the business sector, I'd like to welcome the bank's Managing Director, Mr. Milverton Reynolds.
Thank you, Madam Master of Ceremonies. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, here at the DBJ and in the wider cyberspace. Please allow me to acknowledge those who are with us. Mr. Lorenzo Escandior, and I hope I have pronounced that properly, Chief of Operations, IDB, welcome to the DBJ, and indeed, welcome to Jamaica. Mrs. Valerie Vera, the Chief Executive Officer of the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, JBDC, one of Jamaica's foremost business development intermediaries. Mr. Gordon Swaby, entrepreneur and founder of EduFocal. And we all know the tremendous work that EduFocal has been doing in the edutech space. And of course, our very special guest, Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, Minister of Finance and the Public Service. Minister Clark, of course, is a great proponent of entrepreneurship development and one of the driving forces of national development and job creation. Stakeholders, partners joining us via the online platform. A hearty welcome to this dual function, the closing out, or should we say, the graduation of the beneficiaries of the IGNITE 2 program. And you heard Master of Ceremonies speak about some of the successes there. And of course, the launch and announcement of the IGNITE 3 program. Meetings like this, times have really changed. So meetings like this via Zoom and other forms through the virtual space has now become the new normal, and one that we have all become accustomed to over the past 12 months. As a people, we are truly resilient. We have pivoted and have accepted the change and have embraced the use of technology to get the job done. Of course, the pandemic is still with us, and indeed will be with us for a little while. But we must, as responsible citizens, encourage our staff and everyone to interface with, to continue to practice the protocols of social distancing, good hygiene, and critically, wearing of masks. There is indeed hope, ladies and gentlemen. The vaccines are on their way and will be arriving soon, we are told. So what has been the DBJ role? Both in terms of our role in the economy and, of course, against the background of this project. The DBJ has been recognized as one of, if not the most foremost development institutions in Jamaica that drives private sector development and contributes to broad-based, inclusive economic growth. We provide opportunities for all Jamaicans to improve their quality of life through development financing, capacity building, public-private partnerships, and privatization solutions in keeping with the government's policy. We do our work with a cadre of local, regional, and international stakeholders, including, but of course not limited to, the IDB and its subsidiaries, approved financial institutions, microfinance institutions, business service intermediaries, all of which culminates to providing services and products for Jamaican entrepreneurs and business owners. There is a group of partners that I would like to single out, set against the background of this program, IGNITE. And here I am referring to our business service intermediaries and their role in supporting entrepreneurs and businesses. They play a crucial role in building businesses. It is their commitment and desire to see growth in the MSME sector and their businesses that sustain this initiative. We are grateful for the support that they have given to the IGNITE program since its inception. I would also like to use this opportunity to invite others who are not a part of the cadre of BSIs, as we call them, to make contact with us and indeed to get on board. It is good for you, it is good for the entrepreneurs, your community, and indeed the wider Jamaica. And now let me say a few words about our graduates. You have come a far way. Congratulations. But you still have further to go. Your ultimate market should not only be Jamaica, but the wider Caribbean, and eventually the world. And trust me, technology is that enabling factor that will assist and drive you to achieve it. Never limit yourselves, but keep aiming higher and higher. I have actually had a chance to review your progress over these past 18 months, and I'm really so encouraged. Indeed, I see a trajectory and a path that is being developed. So allow me to share some of what I have observed. Some of you have participated in the annual business model competition at our local universities, where you have developed a business model and built a prototype. You have bootstrapped, you have borrowed from family and friends, and then you have sought grant funding and the support of your business development intermediaries for advice, mentorship, and coaching. That, ladies and gentlemen, is the trajectory and the genesis of what we are developing with this boosting innovation, growth in entrepreneurship ecosystem, biggie. But that is another topic. And of course, our guest speaker, the Honorable Minister, and indeed my colleague Chris Brown, will tell you more on that subject. I am here to welcome you and to offer my heartiest congratulations to the 23 small businesses that have benefited under IGNITE 2. You are now a part of DBJ's history, and we are so very proud of your accomplishments to date. And of course, we look forward more great things from you. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Managing Director, Mr. Middleton Reynolds. Making some excellent points there. And I love what you said. Keep aiming higher and never limit yourself. This is so important for all you small businesses out there, your MSMEs. Always aim higher. If you think you're dreaming big now, dream bigger. That's why I like the name of the program, Big E2. We're going to talk about that a little bit more in just a few moments. So help me welcome now the General Manager of the Strategic Services Division at the Development Bank of Jamaica and Team Lead for Big E. He's Mr. Christopher Brown, not the singer. That's why I said Christopher. And he will give us, I'm sure he gets that a lot, doesn't he? He's going to give us an update on the IGNITE program.
You cannot sing.
And I heard he can't sing. Can you at least dance?
Yes, you can.
We'll see.
Thank you very much, Kalila. I get that on a daily basis. How about Chris Brown? Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, the Minister of Finance and the Public Service. Mr. Lorenzo Escondier, the Chief of Operations, IDB Jamaica. Mr. Reynolds, the Managing Director of the DBJ. Mrs. Valerie Vieira, the CEO of the JBDC. Mr. Gordon Swaby, entrepreneur and ignitee, entrepreneurs and others, good evening. Like Mr. Reynolds and the rest of my team at the DBJ, it's an honor and delight to have you sharing with us this closeout, what has been another successful round of a capacity building initiative for innovative startups in Jamaica. Bear with me as I give a brief background and update on our program. I recall when IGNITE was just an idea. We recognized at the bank that innovative startups found it extremely difficult to raise capital to implement projects that could create additional value. And also to ensure that this value was created by these startups, coaching, mentorship, and networking opportunities were essential facets for their success. It was within that period that the DBJ adopted a more holistic approach to supporting the entrepreneurial ecosystem, particularly our startups and our MSMEs. Out of these gaps and through dialogue with our key stakeholders, the IGNITE program was created. And this was created to ignite a flame of passion, creativity, opportunity, and ultimately growth for Jamaican early stage entrepreneurs. In 2016, IGNITE 1 was launched with 27 entrepreneurs with an investment of 75 million Jamaican dollars from the DBJ. Our partners who assisted in the execution of the program were 3 business service intermediaries, the JBDC, the Jamaica Manufacturers Association, and the Branson Center for Entrepreneurship. These 3 entities provided coaching, mentorship, and assisted our entrepreneurs to implement their projects by setting milestones and providing support. The IGNITE grants at the time ranged between 1 million Jamaican to 4 million. And these ignitees worked hard and long, and at the end of 18 months graduated from the program with great success. Today, most of those companies are operational and a vital part of the Jamaican economy. The successes of the first cohort led the board of the DBJ to provide a commitment to embark on a second round in 2018. This program was tweaked, the grant amounts were amended, we added more BSIs to support our entrepreneurs, and importantly, we increased the budget of the program. Today, we're here to recognize and reward 23 early stage enterprises from a wide cross-section of industries. And to say that their performance was good and growth was good over an 18-month period would be an understatement. I would say they did excellently, and I'm very proud of them. Let me share with you how well these MSMEs have performed. The total revenue of all 23 firms in 2018, when we started the program, were 200 million Jamaican dollars. Between 2018 and 2020, these 23 firms have gone on to create an additional 700 million Jamaican dollars over that 2-year period. That's a 300% increase in 2 years. I think that's an amazing feat by our early stage. The total employment had also increased from 66 employees in 2018 to 300 employees in 2020, at the end of 2020. Ladies and gentlemen, I nor the DBJ can take credit for this. There's a team of BSIs comprised of the JBDC, the JMEA, the Branson Center, the CCIC, the Technology Innovation Center at UTech, and Sisters Inc., who met with the entrepreneurs, set milestones for activities to be completed throughout that period. However, it would not be possible without the pure dedication and determination of our entrepreneurs who wanted to get the job done right, and which has driven the success of their businesses and entrepreneurship activities. Now we're moving towards cohort 3, and we're elated to welcome our newest partner to the table, the Inter-American Development Bank, the IDB, through our relationship with the government of Jamaica and the Big E program. Khalida mentioned Big E is to bring big things for Jamaica, and this is one such thing that we're driving. The Big E program will support the IGNITE program over the next 5 years with additional financial and technical support, and this has enabled us to make a few changes in the IGNITE program. Well, firstly, we'll continue to separate the two groups of businesses, so you'll still have seed stage firms, those at the idea stage, and those early stage firms as two separate groups. We've increased the amount available in each of these categories. The firms at the seed stage can now access 3.5 million Jamaican dollars, which is an increase from 2.5 in the last cohort. And the firms in the early stage are now able to access up to 7 million Jamaican dollars, which is an increase from 4 million that was previously accessible. We've also created a new structure for how mentorship and coaching would be delivered. And we think these facets and improvements to the program should see cohort 3 doing even better than cohort 2 did. Not sure if they can achieve that, but we definitely strive for that. Ladies and gentlemen, this is a commitment of the board, management, and staff of the DBJ. We're building a robust and sustained entrepreneurial ecosystem that will change the lives of many. I encourage all who are interested in accessing the benefits of this IGNITE program to visit www.thinkbige.com and contact one of our BSIs who are key to accessing this facility. Ladies and gentlemen, thank you for listening, and the work of the DBJ will continue as we strive to provide solutions for MSMEs in Jamaica.
Thank you very much, Chris. Now, I did mention at the beginning of this program that this is a different type of event, and you all have gotten used to different types of events anyway. You're watching this streaming as opposed to in a nice big auditorium with lots of people. So some of our presentations are in person, live, right here with me, and some are virtual. You're watching them on your screen and they're joining us virtually. So our next speaker comes from the Inter-American Development Bank, and the IDB is working to improve lives in Latin America and the Caribbean through financial and technical support, often in the form of loans and grants. Its aim is to achieve development in a sustainable, climate-friendly way. That's very important. The IDB has been a valuable partner of the Development Bank of Jamaica, DBJ. They do share significant goals. There's some overlap as to what they do, and it significantly funded multiple programs over the years, including this, the DBJ's flagship IGNITE product. We'll now hear from Mr. Lorenzo Esconder. If I said that right, he's the Chief Operation Officer of IDB Jamaica, and he's going to be sharing remarks on behalf of the IDB.
Dr. Nigel Clark, Minister of Finance and Public Service, Mr. Milverton Reynolds, CEO, Development Bank of Jamaica, Mr. Christopher Brown, General Manager, Strategic Service Division, Mrs. Valerie Beira, CEO, Jamaica Business Development Corporation, Mr. Gordon Suavi, Founder, EduFocal, DBJIGNITE Partners, Business Support Intermediaries and Alumni Beneficiaries, ladies and gentlemen, greetings. It is my pleasure to join you today virtually as we recognize the commitment of the Government of Jamaica and the Development Bank of Jamaica to supporting the growth and innovation of our micro, small, and medium-sized business in the country. Over the last year, since the onset of COVID-19, the private sector has faced unexpected challenges which have disproportionately affected MSMEs. Many SMEs are still struggling to embrace a new paradigm and survive. Regrettably, many have even had to close the doors. Despite all this, we can safely say that Jamaican MSMEs have displayed focus, resiliency, and creativity. On behalf of the IDB, I wish to congratulate you, the second cohort of the IGNITE program. As the second cohort, you have come through one of the greatest economic and social challenges of our time. You have exhibited a commendable level of creativity and strength, and we wish you continued success in your business. The accomplishments of the IGNITE program are a demonstration to the value of a strategic support mechanism seeking to innovate and improve growth prospects. And so, the IDB is very proud of our partnership with the Government of Jamaica and the DBJ especially, as we launch a new round of the IGNITE program. This third round, IGNITE 3, is being financed through the Boosting Innovation Growth and Entrepreneurship Ecosystem Program, BIGI. The BIGI program targets firms at all stages of their life cycle, from the LADF phase to startups with high growth potential to established SMEs that face challenges to innovate and grow. BIGI encourages using resources more efficiently by adopting new technology. These include emerging ones such as artificial intelligence, big data, Internet of Things, blockchain, and innovation in productive processes. With BIGI, we're especially targeting projects with the potential to solve problems in critical areas such as climate change, gender inclusion, and diversity. Upon visiting thinkbiggie.com website, firms can explore available programs that are right for them and receive technical and financial support to innovate and grow. These include mentoring and capacity building. We are also supporting business enablers such as incubators, accelerators, academia, and technological transfer actors in capacity building. This will be support potential MSMEs on their pathway to grow. We, as the IDB Group, want to highlight that our participation in BIGI is part of our combined effort to support private sector and innovation, with programs such as the IDB Lab Venture Capital Ecosystem Development Program and our recently launched Build Forward initiative. As the main region development partner for over 50 years, we're even more resolved to work with you to build forward a stronger Jamaica. Once again, we congratulate you, this special cohort of IGNITE 2, and we're very excited to be launching IGNITE 3, and we look forward to an even stronger and continued partnership with the Government of Jamaica and DBJ. Thank you very much.
Thanks very much to Lorenzo. Well, the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, JBDC, is an initiative designed to support local entrepreneurs through a variety of services, including training, technical support, access to finance, and product development. The JBDC has served as one of the Development Bank of Jamaica's trusted business service intermediaries, the BSIs, that you heard Chris refer to several times during the IGNITE program. Each BSI, including the JBDC, partnered with the DBJ to deliver the program and contributed greatly to its success. Mrs. Valerie Vieira is Chief Executive Officer of the JBDC. The always effervescent, lovely Valerie Vieira will join us now to give an address on behalf of the organization.
I'm speaking on behalf of all the BSI's business support institutions that are a critical part of this IGNITE program. Now, the essence of the program is to support companies, enterprises who are focused on innovation and creativity. And I must say that there is no discussion about how critical it is for the MSME sector, this issue of creativity and innovation, because that is the competitive advantage of our companies in this sector. This is what facilitates them playing on the field with the big boys. So it is that ingredient in their process which is so critical. Now, the great thing about the IGNITE program is that there's a recipe that says grant funds and support, business support development. And that is the essence that's different from most programs. Now, the grant funds comes at a critical time when there is need for that fertilizer for the company to grow. A loan is not necessarily the best option. In any event, there are scarce, few financial institutions who really provide funding for creativity and innovation, despite it being such a main ingredient for the growth of the company. So this grant and this support system coming together comes at a time when these companies need that kind of push to make them move from possibility to realization. And I really commend the IGNITE program for this. And you know, people talk about funding as if that is the whole answer. But it has to be seen that throughout this process of the grant funding, they have a hand-holding support from the BSIs. And for us and in our experience, it is the critical ingredient that has made the program so successful. Now, we have many companies who would have been struggling along. They might have blossomed, they might have died, but this support is what provides them with the opportunity to grow. What I think is important as we close out cohort 2, which I think was very successful, is that two things. One, the relationships that are built with the BSIs, like a JBDC, means that coming out of the program, they still have that relationship. Because in our case, they graduate now into the mainstream at JBDC, which means they have continuous support in areas that they identify that they have that needed. But I think going forward, as we look to cohort 3, a critical ingredient I'd like to see included is the cross-fertilization, the learning process between the companies. Because while they learn from the BSIs, there's a lot of learning and experience that can be shared between the clients. They don't have to necessarily be in the same industry, same type of product, but the business experience is what is critical. I also feel that these partnerships become important because they now become an advocacy group, a potential to really advocate for more and more benefits. And that's my main event as well, for the sector to get more and more support in the ecosystem so that it can be really nourishing for the continuous growth of our MSMEs. And I think that for Jamaica, we can only benefit when we keep strengthening the new growth, new businesses in our system, because they, in the end, will continue the process of development of the country. And in fact, with their innovation and their creativity, they're not just looking to the local market or the parish in which they exist. They're looking at the global market space. And therefore, it means that they can impact positively our economic development, our GDP. So I'm very excited that while we close out cohort 2, it's not stopping there, but we're looking forward to a cohort 3. And I'm sure the other BSIs, like JBDC, we're waiting, raring to go to continue that process of development. And I really believe that this program has made a mark. It has made an indent on the process and growth of the MSMEs. And I'm really looking forward to cohort 3. And JBDC and all the BSIs, we stand right there waiting to continue that process of development. That's what we're all about. Jamaica, we must move forward, we must grow, and this is where the nourishment is coming from. We just have to keep tilling the soil and put the right fertilizer at the right time, in the right place, and along each step giving the support that is required for their development. So we look forward to cohort 3 with great anticipation, and we congratulate all of those and the DBJ for really hosting and providing the funding for these grants. And we really are excited and looking forward to continuous growth in this MSME sector, which JBDC has the responsibility for leading the development. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Valerie. See, I told you she's always effervescent, right? And I love the colors. A pop of red, always welcome. Absolutely. Well, through the IGNITE program, the Development Bank of Jamaica has supported local entrepreneurs with innovative business ideas to access grant funds to facilitate commercializing their products and services. It's one of the DBJ's foremost technical assistance programs with a focus on seed and early stage businesses. Take a look at the journey of some of our beneficiaries and participating BSIs as they speak about their experience in the program.
DBJ's IGNITE program has been one of the most successful technical assistance programs that we have implemented.
Doorstep is a leading online food delivery company in Jamaica. Our IGNITE program was about a software update, including website update and our app launch Cut the Line by Doorstep.
The support from DBJ and TIC was very excellent. They allowed us to express our opportunities and challenges, and at the same time provided us with the tools to unlock our opportunities.
IGNITE was designed with an open call for early and seed stage projects through business service intermediaries, otherwise called BSIs.
So the Caribbean Climate Innovation Center provides unique services to the entrepreneurs within our IGNITE cohort. This year, we supported 3 entrepreneurs in the IGNITE cohort. We provide support in specific areas depending on the need of the entrepreneur, from market expansion, product development, new services, or even building out new services.
Sisters Inc. work with 5 participants in the IGNITE program. We help them to streamline their companies, we coach them, and we help them to stick to their development plans that were crafted at the beginning of the program and made sure that they stuck to their key performance indicators.
eDoxin is a mobile app that allows you to access your physician from the comfort of your home.
eDoxin app provides patients with affordable, reliable, and efficient healthcare service in a secured environment that meets international standards.
After completing the mobile app, we saw the need to expand the service as a web application. DBJ grant was vital in providing support towards this effort.
Instant Save Conservation Solutions is a water saving company, and we work with individuals as well as businesses to help to reduce utility costs through water conservation. We are so grateful to DBJ and CCIC for allowing us to expand our suite of services in water management. Now we're able to offer our customers advanced leak detection as well as water monitoring services.
Given the tremendous success of the 2 previous cohorts, DBJ, in collaboration with the IADB, has allocated some $2.7 million from the BE program to sustain the IGNITE program over the next 10 years.
Adtelligent is a digital marketing firm that focuses on laser-targeted ads for corporate clients across the Jamaica and the Caribbean region. We're part of the excellent DBJIGNITE program, which gave us funding to expand our business. That investment that DBJ made leveled up our production quality by, I would say, maybe 3 to 4-fold.
Affinitive Technologies Limited is a software as a service development company. What that means is that we develop software and then we sell them to businesses and services. The IGNITE grant assisted us at a corporate governance level. They ensured that we remain compliant, and by doing that we became investor friendly and investor ready.
We have supported some 50 MSMEs and provided some $200 million to support the implementation of their projects. We are truly proud to be supporting these innovative ideas through our IGNITE program.
JERS is a highly secured online platform that integrates patients' data across numerous electronic health record systems to medical practitioners. With the funding provided by the DBJ, we were able to implement our pilot project with the assistance of the JBDC as our BSI.
FarmLinker provides access to markets for farmers and their fresh produce across all channels. We work with farmers to supply hotels, exporters, supermarkets, restaurants, and processors. Farmers can also create their own store on our website to sell their goods online directly to buyers. For our Ignite project, we redesigned our website, connected our site to a local bank, developed marketing material, and started paid online promotions for our business.
Hi, my name is Noelle Care and my company is Caremelian. We are a film and television production company. We've mainly done music videos and commercials, but done some narrative stuff, and we want to branch into a whole lot more. And Kurt will tell you more about our Ignite project.
DBJ, with the help of the Branson Center, has provided us with the funding to create the first episode, the pitch pilot, of our project Origins, which is a super Jamaican story involving a lot of our historical and mythological figures thrown together into a brand new adventure.
At Gwenistel Naturals, we make and sell hair care products, but we not only just focus on selling hair products, we focus on selling a lifestyle and a culture to the women in Jamaica. The Ignite grant gave us something that money can't buy, and that is time. With the grant, we were able to go ahead and scale my business, which according to our projections would have taken me like 7 years before I'm able to get here. We were able to do a rebranding, completely change our product line, go into all Fontana stores, not just Montego Bay, and increase our sales a lot.
Okay, so TCP Things, we make Jamaican products, and we take Jamaican culture and reflect it on products in ways, in funny ways, or humorous ways that people typically don't see. So like greeting cards. We had the benefit of the funding from DBJ via the Ignite grant and support from the Branson Center. And one of the biggest challenges that we had was growth, keeping up with growth. So both of them helped us, support our inventory buying so we can continue growing, and also invest in marketing that also accelerates growth.
We have now increased the grant amounts and included a third tier, seed ideation, early commercialization, and technological transfer with special incentives for women-owned businesses. We could not have achieved the success without the input of our valued BSI partners.
So today we're celebrating, like we've said, the hard work of the 23 beneficiaries of Ignite Cohort 2. And on behalf of the beneficiaries, we're joined by Mr. Gordon Swaby. Gordon is CEO and co-founder of the multi-award-winning Edufocal Limited. And if you haven't heard of it before, now you've heard of it. They are an innovative online social learning service for students preparing for both PEP and CSEC. The 9-year-old service, wow, 9 years have been going, Gordon, has been used by thousands of students to successfully prepare for their exams. Swaby's work has been acknowledged by many organizations, including the World Bank, the Private Sector Organization of Jamaica, PSOJ, the University of Technology, and the Inter-American Development Bank, IDB. He's a recipient of the Governor General's Youth Award, the Commonwealth Youth Award, and many others. What my script does not say is his 2 best and proudest accomplishments. Husband to the amazing Kamisha, and father to Jamaica's youngest entrepreneur Swaby. Grow him up from young, right, Gordon? Let's welcome Gordon Swaby.
Minister of Finance, Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark, Managing Director of the DBJ, Milverton Reynolds, Lorenzo Escondier, IDB Jamaica's new Chief of Operations, Valerie Vera, CEO of the JBDC, Master of Ceremonies, Kalia Reynolds, all other guests, good afternoon. Good evening. So this is my first time being dressed up in months. It's a strange feeling. I also feel like it's my first speaking engagement outside of my study in months. So I'm a little rusty, but it's exciting. And it's exciting to be in front of people again. And we really are, and I say we because I think I can speak on behalf of everybody. We really are looking to have COVID behind us in the short term, not even the medium term, but in the short term. 2020 was a challenging time for a lot of companies, and the DBJ, the support of the DBJ, specifically the IGNITE program, has been extremely important for a lot of entrepreneurs. Outside of the obvious financial benefits, I believe that many entrepreneurs have a new, I'd say a new appreciation for project management. When you think about the requirements for the disbursements, I would not use the word onerous. Certainly, I look at everything from a positive perspective. I think it has given, and I think I'm speaking on behalf of all 23 beneficiaries now, I think it has given all of us a new appreciation for how things should be structured, and the skills that we've developed as a result of keeping proper documentation, ensuring that our financials are done on time, has certainly facilitated the growth that Mr. Brown spoke of when he was here earlier. When you think about entrepreneurship, you think about this long and grueling process. Khalida mentioned that we're 9 years old. I mean, I started EduFocal when I was 21 years old. We actually celebrate our 9-year anniversary on March 15th. So that's next week. Next week is when we celebrate the 9 years. And I say to people all the time, I feel like I'm just starting out because I know nothing. I have the mindset of an amateur, because if you think about it, we're all amateurs. In an ever-changing world, things are changing daily. And when you have this mindset of I'm always in learning mode, then really we are all amateurs. Outside of the DBJ, I think it is important to acknowledge the work of the BSIs. For me, my BSI was the Branch Center of Entrepreneurship, and I want to specifically highlight Tashane, who worked tirelessly, who was knocking on me every day to get the required documentation in time so that the disbursement can be done. And really I want to give a special big up and thank you to Tashane and all the other BSIs who help the entrepreneurs to get to where they are. For us specifically, when we got notified, I think it was late 2019, that we were going to be one of the beneficiaries of the IGNITE program, I could only imagine at the time the kind of growth that EduFocal would experience. The total size of the IGNITE program is $75 million. And I think it is mind-blowing to think that our revenues last year were larger than the total budget allocated to the IGNITE program. When I started EduFocal at 21 years old, this idea of earning even $80 million in revenue in 1 year was a nice dream, but certainly, I never thought it was possible. What we've been able to accomplish in 2020, I think, is just surreal. I mean, standing here is my first time actually talking about it. I think we started the year 2020 with around maybe 8 employees, and we closed 2020, with over 20 full-time employees. As we are now, we have 21 full-time employees and about 11 contractors that we pay monthly. And when you think about the lives that have been impacted as a consequence of that, you start to see entrepreneurship not only being beneficial to the entrepreneur and the staff, but just, Jamaica, right? You look at it really as what you call outsized return. So for us, we see new possibilities, and I know that the other 21 entrepreneurs are looking at the possibilities in the same way. It is one thing to dream about something. I think it is another to actually achieve it. You create this, or you kind of develop this kind of confidence that, hey, anything is possible, right? So on one end, 80 or 90 or $100 million in revenue is mind-blowing, but then you get to 300 million, and then you get to 400 million, and then you get to $1 billion, and then you start to say, oh wow, but more is possible. And I'm really happy to hear that the IDB is now on board with the DBJ. I'm looking forward to doing more work with the DBJ because I think institutions like the DBJ play an important role in the growth of Jamaica. And I think that the best pathway to really creating a place to live, work, is through entrepreneurship, right? And where we are now, we understand, and I say we as in Jamaicans, where we are now, we're obviously going through a difficult period, right? But we know that small and medium-sized businesses are the lifeblood of the Jamaican economy, and it will continue to be the case moving forward. And for me, I believe that the only pathway through this difficult and challenging period is going to be through entrepreneurship and with the support of institutions like the DBJ. So a big thank you to the DBJ. Thank you to all the other government entities playing a crucial role in the growth of Jamaica. And I'm looking forward to working more at the DBJ. The other entrepreneurs are looking forward to working more at the DBJ and really playing a crucial role in transforming the Jamaican economy. Thank you for having me, and all the best.
Thank you very much, Gordon. I'm just so impressed with everything that Edufocal has been able to accomplish. I mean, going from 80 employees to 21 full-time employees in the past year. Definitely kudos to you. Congratulations on all of your success. And the thing is, Edufocal was in a unique position last year in 2020. Everybody else was trying to pivot to online, but they were already in that space of online learning. And that's now all the rage. The big thing now is online school. Am I right? Parents, you know exactly what I'm talking about. Well, it's time to turn our attention to all the hard-working beneficiaries and stakeholders in the IGNITE Cohort 2. First, we're going to list our 23 beneficiaries and then recognize our business service intermediaries, those BSIs. Lastly, we'll announce the winners of our special awards. So, without further ado, our IGNITE graduates. Adtelligent Limited, Amazing Concrete Finishes Group Limited, Appfinity Technologies Limited, Banyan Catering, Cece's Sandals, Doorstep Jamaica Limited, Develop Digitally Limited, Edoxin, Edufocal Limited, Engaged Kids Limited, Farmlinker Limited, Gwenestel Naturals, The Hub Co-working Limited, Instant Save Conservation Solutions Jamaica Limited, It's Pixel Perfect Limited, Jalgay, the Jamaica Electronic Health Record System, JERS, Chameleon, Kian Patrice, Pre-Labs Limited, Sankard Company Limited, TCP Things Limited, and last but not least, Yardi River Tour Adventures Limited. The phenomenal success of the program could not have been achieved without the commitment and dedication of our business service intermediaries, those BSIs. Once again, we have to big them up every time because they continue to partner with the DBJ to deliver this program and they are the Branson Center for Entrepreneurship Caribbean, the Caribbean Climate Innovation Center at the Scientific Research Council, the Jamaica Business Development Corporation, the Jamaica Manufacturers and Exporters Association, Sisters Inc. Jamaica, and of course, the Technology Innovation Center, TIC, at the University of Technology, Jamaica. And now, the moment you've all been waiting for. Dun, 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 dun. We have our awardees. We're about to announce our winners, our special awards. And our first award is for our top performer early stage. Any guesses who that might be? Our top performer was, drumroll please, Edufocal. Congratulations to Gordon and the team. And now let's hear our top revenue earner. Da, 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 da. Drum roll again. That prize also goes to Edufocal. And now for our top exporter. It's not what you might think. Congratulations to Adtelligent. So you can export services, not just goods. And now our top performer at the seed stage. Drumroll please. Doorstep Jamaica. Now let's have it for our Ignite fan faves. And I actually voted online in this competition. There was so much excitement around it. The various companies and personalities, they got all their fans involved, all their networks from around the world involved. There were votes from all over the Caribbean and all over the world. And in the end, it came down to a nail-biting decision. So close that the DBJ has decided to award not just one, but two fan favorites, because these two companies were just neck and neck. They both received over 4,500 votes in this competition. So congratulations to, drumroll please, FarmLinker and eDoxin. So our guest speaker this evening is a man who needs absolutely no introduction. He is very well known. Everybody knows his face, his voice. Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark. I'm sure he likes my talk this evening as well. So I'm going to introduce him anyway, even though I said he doesn't need any introduction. He is, of course, the Minister of Finance and the Public Service. He's also Member of Parliament for Northwest St. Andrew. And Minister Clark has also served in the public sector as Chairman of the National Housing Trust, the Port Authority of Jamaica, and the Heart Trust. He's also served as Director of the Bank of Jamaica, and that's just in the public service. So let's look at some of his private sector accomplishments now, which are also quite stellar. Minister Clark had an illustrious career in business prior to his role in government. He served as Vice Chairman of the Musson Group, having served previously as Chief Operating Officer and Chief Financial Officer of the group. And get this, he played an integral role in the expansion of the Musson Group from a substantially Jamaican base to having operations and subsidiaries in over 30 countries, with over $1 billion with a B in revenues and market-leading businesses in telecommunications, information technology, consumer goods, and food manufacturing. So he comes from an experienced background to speak to our recipients today. We're eager to hear from the sharp business executive and Rhodes Scholar, who's now our Minister of Finance and the Public Service. Without further ado, please welcome Dr. the Honorable Nigel Clark.
Madam Master of Ceremonies, Kalila Reynolds, Managing Director of the Development Bank of Jamaica, Mr. Milverton Reynolds, Mr. Christopher Brown, who is the lead at DBJ for the Ignite and Big E programs, and Mr. Lorenzo Escondior from the IDB. Ladies and gentlemen, good evening. Such is the nature of life today that we're having this celebratory function, celebrating the graduation of Cohort 2 and the launch of Cohort 3 of the DBJ's IGNITE program, and we're doing so online and virtually. It's a testimony to the resilience of the Jamaican people and the Jamaican population that we have been able to adapt to the new circumstances for our own good. It's a well-known fact that the COVID-19 pandemic has had a major impact on life in Jamaica. The economic impact of the pandemic has been severe. We have had in the year 2020-21 tax revenues for the government declined by over $70 billion. Within the first 4 months of the pandemic, over 130,000 jobs were lost. Our foreign exchange earnings have declined substantially. As I said recently in my budget presentation, Jamaica has received a proverbial punch to the gut, but thankfully we have some muscles under the skin that we together have put in place so that Jamaica received this blow, but due to that abdominal strength, we remain standing. Our task now is to ensure that we can create the pathway for a speedy and quick economic and social recovery. And the government is squarely focused on that initiative. And our priorities, that is the number one sort of priority, alongside ensuring that we continue to support the vulnerable with social programs that are designed for this time, as well as we continue to maintain macroeconomic stability, which is of crucial importance, and of course, the maintenance of the supply of kind of goods and services by the government, which are necessary for modern life. Now, this government has had a record of promoting the interests of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. Over the past few years, we have launched a series of initiatives that have been geared towards encouraging the formation, the growth, and the expansion of the micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise. We are very pleased that in the last year, there were more business incorporations in Jamaica than at any time in Jamaica's history. This is during a pandemic, during the worst economic crisis of our lifetimes. Company incorporations were at a record high. I want you to just pause and think about that for a moment. Now, while company incorporations are not an indicator of economic activity, they certainly speak about intent. And the fact that we had the most ever in our history last year, 2020, I think speaks volumes. Among the measures that the government has implemented over the past few years are the abolishment of the minimum business tax, which is a distortionary tax, abolishment of the asset tax for non-financial businesses, and a number of other measures, including most recently, in terms of implementation, the MSME tax credit, which provides a tax credit of $375,000 to every micro, small, and medium-sized business that files their taxes. In my budget presentation, which has just completed a few days ago, I was very pleased to announce the latest initiative geared towards stimulating activity in the micro, small, and medium-sized sector. And that was the abolishment of the customs administrative fee on exports valued at less than $500 million US. As I said then, the customs administration fee, the CAF, for small valued exports belongs in the same rubbish bin as the minimum business tax and as the asset tax on small business. There are over 43,000 export declarations in the financial year ending 2019-20. Over 43,000. Half of those, 22,000 of those, were for exports valued at less than $500 US. In fact, 11,000 out of the 43,000, or approximately 25%, had value less than $50 US. adjusting for the exchange rate back in 2019-20, the average exchange rate, that's about 7,000 Jamaican dollars. Yet the government of Jamaica was raking in a fee of $3,000 for each one of those exports. We took a look at that and we have abolished it to make more opportunities for small and medium-sized enterprises to export their product. Now, our efforts in this regard are built upon the conviction that the long-term growth of Jamaica and the long-term development of Jamaica and the fulfillment of the aspirations of the Jamaican people is best built on a foundation where there is a lot of vibrancy in our micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. The micro, small, and medium-sized space employs the most people in Jamaica and accounts for a vast majority of, or for a lot of economic activity. And if we can inspire and we can motivate young people to start businesses and those in businesses to grow them, Jamaica will be the better for it. Which is why in this year's budget, we have introduced some new programs for MSMEs. And these programs include $1 billion that we're going to channel through the DBJ for micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises to transition to a digital means of operating. As we all know, it's possible to have an e-commerce suite attached to your business where your product or service can be offered over the internet, where people can interact with your product over the internet. They can browse, they can click, and they can complete a transaction. If the product is an intangible, that product can be delivered online, whether it's a book or it's a set of instructions or it's a piece of software or some other or license or some other intangible. If it's a tangible product, then the product can be, the transaction can be completed and a product delivered to you. Now we have over 25 IT firms who are lined up to provide this service, and all that needs to happen is the MSME just needs to apply for the Go Digital package at the DBJ. And this package comes with a grant of $200,000, and effective April 1st, those who are eligible for that $200,000 grant will also be eligible for a loan of $800,000, of up to $800,000 at 2%, in order for them to acquire the various modules that are required to complete that transition to a digital modality. We expect thousands of firms to take up this opportunity. And as Jamaica and our small and medium-sized space transitions to the digital environment, we'll increase the productivity, the efficiency, the growth, and the development of our micro, small, and medium-sized enterprise. Now, today we celebrate the graduation of Cohort 2 from the IGNITE program, and we celebrate the launch of the third installation of the IGNITE program. Now, as the word IGNITE suggests, what we are about here is about inspiring and catalyzing the accelerated growth and development of micro, small, and medium-sized enterprises. Cohort 2 consists of 23 firms from a wide variety of industries. Some of them names that you know, and some names that you're coming or getting to know. These are all products that are headed by entrepreneurs who have gone out and taken a risk, who have put capital at risk, who have hired people, and who are growing and developing their products. The IGNITE grants will allow them to develop new markets, to test prototypes, and to advance the commercialization of their ideas. The IGNITE grant is a very important part of the ecosystem that we have to foster the growth and development of micro and small enterprises. And the good news is that for the third installation of the IGNITE program, the grants are going to increase in size. The seed grant will go from a size of $2.5 million to $3 million. And the early stage grant has moved from $4 million to $7 million. That's good news because it means more capital will be available for the MSME to foster their growth and development. And we're very pleased with the partnership we have with IDB, with whom we are working on a number of initiatives in this space, including the BIGI program, which is a related program that's complementary to what we're doing. Now, I wanted us to talk about another program that we're introducing this year that we hope beneficiaries of IGNITE will be able to tap into at some stage along their developmental cycle. And that is the DBJ plans to launch, through the funding that we're providing under the Serve Jamaica program, an additional 2 equity funds dedicated exclusively for MSMEs. The government is providing a loan to the DBJ of $2 billion with the expectation that the DBJ will launch an RFP for 2 fund managers, to which $1 billion each will be provided on the condition that they raise additional sums. And those additional sums could be such that a total of $8 billion is available to the MSME space. Now, this is very important because equity is permanent capital. Unlike debt that has to be repaid, equity is permanent capital that does not need to be repaid. If there are profits, there can be dividends made on those profits to shareholders, but the equity remains. The equity holder can sell their stake to another interested party, but the company is unaffected by that transaction. And having a space where equity is available is a very important part of the ecosystem as we seek to grow and develop our MSME enterprises. For too long, equity has depended on friends and family. Now, that's not in the public interest, because given the structure of our society, which is like most other societies in the world, there are those who are born into families that have surplus and investable funds and others who don't. But one thing we know that is true in life everywhere in the world is that the distribution of talent is fairly uniform. There are people who are born with nothing who have talent and drive and energy and ambition. And there are persons who are born with a lot who also have talent and ambition and drive. And what we want is a Jamaica that is open to talent, ambition, and drive wherever it is situated. And to have a Jamaica like that, equity has to become a commodity. It needs to be commoditized. Access to equity can't be something that is an accident of your birth. And it is for that reason that we are very enthusiastic about what will be the emergence of at least 2 equity funds dedicated to MSMEs. And my information is that the DBJ is ready to launch their first fund. So with the new funds that we are providing, new financing that the Ministry of Finance is providing to the DBJ, we're likely to see before too long 3 dedicated equity funds for the MSME space. This is a very exciting time to be a young entrepreneur in Jamaica, and I want to just encourage all of the IGNITE graduates, if I may use that term today, that the future is bright. It is darkest before dawn. This is the best time to go out and to make your dreams come true. And the government of Jamaica stands right beside you, right behind you, with a suite of supportive policies that are geared towards your growth and development. We succeed when you succeed. So go out and ignite Jamaica. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, Minister Clark. And I know that you and your team are very busy. So we appreciate you taking the time to speak to our cohorts today. Well, it's now announcement time. Exciting news. The DBJ has some exciting announcements. Please help us welcome again Mr. Christopher Brown, who will join us to deliver some brilliant news. Well, it's announcement time. Excitement now. Oh, and I think this is the perfect person to deliver excitement. Yeah. The Development Bank of Jamaica has some exciting announcements. Please help us welcome again Mr. Christopher Brown, who will join us once more to deliver some brilliant news. about what the DBJ has in store.
Well, Kalila, I would say the brilliant news really starts with the IGNITE 3 program. We're here to graduate our second cohort and, more importantly, launch the IGNITE 3 program. So, effective today, this evening, businesses can get access, can apply for the IGNITE 3 program on our thinkbiggie.com website. So that's www.thinkbiggie.com. When you click on the IGNITE program, you're able to apply. What I want to encourage everyone to do is contact one of the BSIs. We have 5 BSIs which we're working with to implement the program over the next year. You need to let those BSIs understand the projects that you have. The application form is a very simple, seamless process. As I mentioned, there are 2 different categories. As a seed, just having an idea, you're able to access up to $3.5 million. So those are businesses without revenues are able to access that amount. The firms who have revenues and have been in business for at least 2 years are able to access up to 7 million Jamaican dollars. We'll be implementing this program over a 12-month period. So between, let's say, March, when we open now, we expect to select the firms in about June, July, and then 12 months after would be the end of cohort 3. So we really want to encourage firms to be innovative, have innovative ideas. We're not looking for the same types of business. You've heard from Gordon and the type of activities that EduFocal does in being an innovative business. Those are the businesses that we're really encouraging to be developed throughout this program, through the assistance of this program as well. Before I close, I really want to thank the IDB for coming on board. We've been, DBJ has invested money into this program from our own resources because we believe in entrepreneurship. And these are grants, not loans, so it's not things we get back financial benefits from, but the rewards are really the impact and the stories that you hear from businesses such as EduFocal and many other Ignitees that are graduating today. I also want to thank my team from the SSD. The DBJ team has worked tirelessly in following up the BSIs, to follow up Gordon, to submit his reports, and the other Ignitees that are there as well. And we've been working on this IGNITE 3 program for the last 6 months to really bring tremendous value to you as an entrepreneur, which should impact then the families that you have and then the wider Jamaica. So I want to encourage everyone who is interested, who has types of businesses that we're looking forward to supporting, to apply to the IGNITE 3 program. Thank you very much. Ladies and gentlemen, have a good evening.
Wow, that really is exciting news, or should I say biggie news, right? So like Chris said, apply for cohort 3 of the program at thinkbiggie.com. That's Biggie with 1 G and 2 E's. So apply to become one of the newest beneficiaries of this really, really exciting program. I want to thank you all so much for joining us today. We'd like to say a special thank you to all our guests, to our beneficiaries and stakeholders who share the vision of the DBJ in promoting entrepreneurship as a driver of the Jamaican economy. That's the only way we are going to grow, with entrepreneurs leading the way. That is my firm and strong belief. Also want to take this opportunity to remind you to stand firm, wear your mask, remain socially distant, and let's continue to fight this global pandemic. I'm Kalila Reynolds. Have a great evening.